Sorry. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, dear participants. Welcome to a virtual parallel discussion on the third Science and Mathematics International Conference 2022, hosted by the Faculty of Mathematics and Natural Science, Universitas Negeri Jakarta. Let me introduce myself. My name is Tian Abdul Aziz, a faculty member of Universitas Negeri Jakarta, and it is my honor to be your moderator for this session. We are in room 10, which consists of 11 presenters, with the topic of the paper is mathematics education. First of all, I'd like to thank to all presenters for joining these parallel discussions. Congratulations on being a presenter at this year's international conference. Before we start our session, let me inform you the regulation of this parallel session. The presentation video or pre-recorded presentation video of each presenter will be played by the technical team with duration 10 minutes. The questions and answer session for each presenter will be conducted after the presentation video presented. The allocated time for Q&A session is 5 minutes for each presenter. And presenter will be allowed to turn on the microphone during Q&A session. All presenters are expected to turn on the video camera and to use the virtual background on the conference. If you have any technical issues, please reach out directly moderator or technical team via chat feature or chat box. Okay, based on the data that we have collected from the committee, there are only 4 pre-recorded video that we received. The first video, the first pre-recorded video is coming from Aat Juwatiningsih Lestari Utami, and the second pre-recorded video is from Sulistiawati. The third pre-recorded video is from Flavia Aurelia Hidayat, and the last one and the last video is from Rikza. So in this room there are only 4 presenters present their research report. Okay, before we start our part session, are there any questions from presenters? Okay, clear. Okay, I think clear. So let's move on to the first presenter. The first presenter is Aat Juwatiningsih Lestari Utami. She will deliver the research paper. The title of the research paper is Error Analysis of the 8th grade students in solving story problems on linear equation in 2 variables. Okay, let's watch the pre-recorded video first.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Allow me introduce myself. My name is Aat Juwatiningsih Lestari Utami. I'm from Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia. I will show you my research about error analysis of the 8th grade students in solving story problems on linear equation in 2 variables. Okay. Sorry. Hmm. Next, I will explain about the first introduction, the second about methods, the third about result and discussion, the fourth about conclusion. For the first, about introduction, okay, is student error in solving story problems. This problem comes from material system of linear equation into variables in mathematics at school. There are previous research such as Rahmania and Rahmawati 2016 says student doesn't understand the story problem, then the teacher must give the pressure in understanding the story problem of mathematics, of mathematics, especially to change the sentence of story test to mathematics model. So, Putra and Puji Astuti 2020 says the student error in solving the story problem of mathematics. They doesn't understand the story test rightly. From this problem, I will tell my research is proposed into kind of errors faced by students in solving story problems at system of linear equation in two variables. Next, about methods. The research was a qualitative case study method. The research design in the case study includes collecting data, exploring, analyzing, and reviewing data so that specific conclusion can be drawn and the research focus. Okay, the research subject are students of junior high school class aged at one public school in Subang Regency, as many as 30 students. This study aims to determine the description of student error in solving story problem on the material of the two variable linear equation system. The research instrument used is in the form of two descriptive questions adapted from Agostini and Puji Astuti 2020 and Mariani and Setiawan 2021. Okay, from analysis technique, I use uh, Newman's 1977 was used to analyze the location of students' mistakes in solving story problems, which consist of errors, reading, compression, transformation, process skill, and encoding. Okay, next about result and discussion. From this table, where were types of error for the problem in number 1. At reading error, there is one student. For reading comprehension error, there are 3 students. uh, for transformation error. Sorry. For transformation error, there are 7 students, and for weakness in process skill, there are 23 students. The last for encoding error, there are 23 students. Okay. For the problem in number 2, here, at reading error, there are there is 1 student, and for reading comprehension error, there are 21 students. For transformation error, there are 2 students. For weakness in process skill, there are 28 students. Okay. The last for encoding error, there are 28 students. While the total percentage from reading error is 1.50%, for reading comprehension error, there are 17.50%. For transformation error, there are 6.60%. For weakness in process skill, there are 37.20%. The last for encoding error, 37.20%. For weakness in process skill and encoding error is same. Next. Okay. Next about answer about result and discussion is student answer. The first about reading error. Okay. Student cannot read the information from this question. It can be see student answer which writes the example incorrectly or cannot read the information from this question. Then, in writing the elements that are known in the question, student only write one variable. Okay, only write one variable. While in the question, there are 2 variables. The second, student error at reading comprehension. Okay, here student have difficult understanding the questions. It can be see student answer which write nominal without any calculation. Even student write next. I don't know. Saya nggak tahu, Bu. The third about transformation error. Student cannot to transform the problem into mathematical form. It can be see student answer which write example by mathematically where x and y is the total price contained in the question and divided with one of variable taken by student. There is example from this question. Next, the fourth student error at weakness and process skill. Because student incorrect will write the result got from question previously written. Student cannot determine calculating process which use search price book and pencil. The last student error at encoding. Student cannot use the conclusion from solution that has been done and from what was asked about in question as that notebook unit and pencil. However, student answer the total price from the book and pencil. One book and one pencil. Okay. Next, from this discussion, then the first reading errors were 1.5%. From comprehension error or understanding the question is 17.5%, and the transformation error is 6.6%. For process skill errors, where 37.2%. Next, for the encoding error using notation was 37.2%. The majority of students made process skill errors and encoding errors in the process skill error caused by algorithmic reasoning, which is due to the weakness of students in manipulating mathematics. Meanwhile, the majority of students made encoding errors due to students' unfamiliarity with evaluating answers. Errors are made when students determine the formula used to get the desired result and make mistakes in the calculation process. In addition, there are still students who have difficulty in digesting the language contained in the questions. This happens because students rarely work and various questions. I think enough for my presentation. If any question or discussion from my presentation, I allow to ask now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Juatiningsih Lestari Utami, for your insightful presentation. And let's move to the Q&A session. If there are any questions from other presenters, please raise your hand first, and then you may deliver your questions directly. Okay, any questions? Or if you have difficulties in delivering questions directly, you may post your questions in the chat box, so I will read the questions. Okay. Miss Art Juatiningsih Lestari Utami, do you mind if I ask questions to you?
Yes.
Do you mind? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Miss Ajwa Tiningsih. Your research is about error analysis, yeah, and you used Newman error analysis um, for framing the students' error. As we know that comprehension is a very important step for students to solve the problem. But in your findings in the table 2, if I don't mistake, in number 2, we found that there are more mistakes that students make in comprehending than transformation stage. Okay. In the number 2, you may notice that there are 21 students made a comprehension error, and then in the transformation error, there are only 2 students. Is that right? So, uh, uh, is uh, is that makes sense? So, for example, do you find that several students have problem in comprehension, but they are able to solve the problem successfully? Okay. Nisat, can you catch my questions?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay. I used two languages.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay. Do you may use both languages, yeah, English and Indonesian. It doesn't matter.
Um, for reading comprehension error and transformation error.
Comprehension,
Yes.
error and transformation error.
For number 2, okay. I think how saya kira di awal juga memang saya ada kesalahan gitu karena perbedaannya jauh sekali dari 21 ke 2 ya, ya 2. Nah, ternyata memang kalau dari tahap keduanya siswa ini melewati atau bermasalah. Nah, ternyata ada siswa yang tidak bermasalah di tahap kedua ini, di tahap ketiga atau di tahap transformation error ini, siswa ini bermasalah. Nah, ternyata siswa yang di tahap keduanya bermasalah, mereka tidak melanjutkan menyelesaikan sampai di tahap ketiga gitu, Pak. Jadi ternyata yang bermasalah itu yang saya hitung bermasalah dia yang menyelesaikan atau dia yang melanjutkan ke tahap 3. Nah, selebihnya ini yang bermasalah di tahap 2, kebanyakan anak tidak melanjutkan sampai ke akhir, sampai ke tahap kelima, sampai ke encoding error. Nah, makanya sebetulnya saya anggap ini siswa yang bermasalah di tahap kedua saja dia sudah berhenti. Jadi gimana ya? Step melaksanakan step mengerjakannya tuh siswa ketika sudah sampai di tahap 2 di kesalahan dalam membaca ini tidak diselesaikan sampai tahap mengerjakan, begitupun untuk menyimpulkan akhirnya jawaban akhirnya. Seperti itu. Nah, ternyata siswa yang tidak bermasalah di tahap kedua ini dia melanjutkan, tapi ada siswa yang di tahap yang 21 siswa ini yang dia bermasalah pada tahap comprehension error, ternyata dia langsung mengerjakan ke tahap akhir, langsung ke ujung. Nah, seperti itu, tapi tanpa ada jawaban caranya bagaimana, tidak ada gitu. Jadi saya anggap itu permasalahannya untuk di tahap ketiga transformation error ini siswa melewatkan itu. Itu makanya hanya saya tulis 2 siswa. Sebetulnya kalau ditulis semua ya bisa jadi semua siswa sebetulnya. Seperti itu, Pak.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Saad, for your answer. Unfortunately, we exceed the 15 minutes allocated for you for presentation. Thank you, Ms. Saad, for your presentation. Okay, let's move to the second presenters. The second presenter is Miss Sulistiawati. Ms. Sulistiawati will deliver her research paper entitled Analysis of Students' Perception of Technology-Assisted Learning During Distance Learning Based on Gender. Before we ask the question, ask question to Ms. Sulistiawati, let's watch the pre-recorded video first.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for the opportunity that given to me. Today, I would like to present our article that conducted by me and my supervisor, Professor Yaya. I am a doctoral student in Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia, Bandung. Our title of the study is Analysis of Students' Perceptions on Technology-Assisted Learning During Distance Learning Viewed from Gender. We are from Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia, Bandung. Here is the table of content of this slide, and then here is the introduction. We separated into 4 parts. The first one is about distance learning. During the COVID-19 pandemic, distance learning has become a trend in teaching and learning. School from home policy has been conducted in many countries in the world at the same time, including Indonesia. And then learning from home has good impacts on students, teachers, and parents' habit. And then distance learning implemented from home involve technology in its application. And then for the part of technology-assisted learning is the use of technology which become mandatory for teachers and students turned out to have problems. And then we need to look at the perception which are subjective from student to find out their opinion. And here is the perception part. Many experts have defined perception, but in this study we concluded that perception is something that refers to our sensory experience in the world, like touch, sight, sound, smell, and taste. And then many researchers have measured perceptions using a questionnaire, such as Manowong and Chakrawarty. And then for gender part, gender has become an education classic issues in around the world. A study stated that gender indifferences have relationship with differences in one's abilities. Here, that's the research objective. This study aimed to find out the difference of students' perceptions on technology-assisted mathematics learning during distance learning viewed from gender. And then we conduct the method is quantitative method with a survey type. And then the instrument is a perception questionnaire that consists of 5 options. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. That consists of 4 options. They are strongly agree, disagree, and strongly disagree, and their score are 4, 3, 2, and 1. And who is the participant? The participants are students in grade 11 in SMA Negeri 3 Bandung, 11 Math Science 1, and 11 Math Science 7. And then the indicator is, we can see on the table on the next slide. And then validity and reliability. We choose the valid number item with reliability 0.917 that greater than 0.7. And then the statistics test that we use is normality, homogeneity, and independent sample t-test. Here is the student perception indicators. Perception indicators consist of 3 aspects: technology-assisted learning, distance learning, interactive learning, and then consists of 5 indicators. We can see on the table. Here is the result and discussion. For the result analysis, we separated into 5 parts. Like we can see about questionnaire instrument trial, questionnaire result, normality test, homogeneity test, and independent sample t-test. We also separated independent sample t-test into 5 parts. T-test for the first indicator of perception, and so on until t-test for the 5th indicator of perception. And here this the normality test result. We make a test hypothesis for male group and female group. For H1, for male group, the H0 is data on student perception on technology-assisted learning during distance learning. For the male group, come from a normally distributed population. And then the H1 is data on student perceptions on technology-assisted learning during distance learning for the male group come from non-normally distributed population. Likewise for the female group. So we get the calculation using software, using SPSS software. The asymptote significant total for male group is 0.524 and the female group is 0.755. So what is the meaning of the values? This means that because both values greater than 0.05, that is alpha, so then except H0. It means that both male and female groups are normally distributed. So we go to the next test, that is homogeneity test. Here the test hypothesis. The H0 is both groups, male and female, have homogeneous variance values, and the H1 is both groups, male and female, have non-homogeneous variance values. Here the result. We got significant value is 0.899, and then this value is greater than alpha. It means that both groups, male and female, have the same variance values. And here this descriptive data of each indicators, of 5 indicators. We separated the participant into 2 groups, male and female groups, and each group consists of 17 students. And here the mean, and then the standard deviation and the standard error mean. The first one is t-test for the first indicator of perception. For the first indicator, there are 7 statements. Statement number 1 to number 7. And the average score of students' view on learning mathematics using technology for students is 20.76. And female students is 21.71 out of 28. And the test hypothesis is H0. There is no difference in students' view on learning mathematics using technology between the male and female groups. The H1 is there is a difference in students' view on learning mathematics using technology between the male and female groups. And then here the result using software, using SPSS software. We obtain significant total is 0.132. It means that this value is greater than alpha. It means that there is no difference in students' view on learning mathematics using technology between the male and female groups. We go to the second indicator. The second indicator consists of 10 statements. Statement number 8 to number 17. The average score of students' view on distance learning for male student is 21.26 and female student is 22.47 out of 40. The test hypothesis is H0 is there is no difference in student view about distance learning between the male and female groups. And the H1 is there is no difference in students' view about distance learning between the male and female groups. And here the result using software SPSS. We got significant total is 0.511. We can see that the value is greater than alpha. So the conclusion is there is no difference in students' view about distance learning between the male and female groups. And then the third indicator, there are 7 statements. Statement number 18 to number 23 and number 25. We discarded number 24 because invalid. The average score of students' view on technology-assisted interactive mathematics learning in terms of advantages, disadvantages, and uses for male students is 21.00, and for female students are 21.41 out of 28. And the test hypothesis is H0 is there is no difference on students' view on technology-assisted interactive mathematics learning in terms of advantages, disadvantages, and uses between the male and female groups. And for H1 is there is a difference of students' view on technology-assisted interactive mathematics learning in terms of advantages, disadvantages, and uses between the male and female groups. And here is the result. Significant to tail is 0.546. It is greater than alpha as well. So the conclusion is except H0, the conclusion is there is no difference of students' views on technology assisted interactive mathematics learning in terms of advantages, disadvantages, and uses between the male and female groups. And then the fourth one, for the fourth indicator, the fourth indicator consists of two statements, statement number 27 and 28. The average score of students' view on distance learning for male student is 5.41 and female students are 5.24 out of 8. The test hypothesis H0 is there is no difference of students' view on the use of technology-assisted interactive mathematics learning in engaging students between the male and female groups. There is a difference of students' view on the use of technology-assisted interactive mathematics learning in engaging students between the male and female groups. And then we can see the value like before. So the conclusion is there is no difference of student view on the use of technology-assisted interactive mathematics learning in engaging students between the male and female group. And then the last one is for the fifth indicator. Okay, here there is only one statement, number 31. So here there's the test hypothesis, and here there's the value that we obtain, 0.448. And then this value is greater than alpha as well. So except it's 0. So the conclusion is there is no difference in view of students' experience in using technology-assisted interactive mathematics learning application between the male and female groups. Here there's the percentage of each indicators. And then based on the result, we can see that male and female students have the same perception on technology-assisted learning during distance learning. And then the results are similar to the research that conducted by Chin et al. That gender does not affect student attitudes. And then learning habits here are very possible with learning which include technology involved. This different attitude is very possible also the emergence of the same perception of attitudes in learning. And then the percentage of students' perception of technology-assisted learning during distance learning is in the range of 65.50, less than P less than or equal 81.18 for female, and we can see also for male. The range can be in the sufficient and good range based on the conversation of the result of the questionnaire measurement by Arikunto. And then the last one is conclusion. We can see the conclusion, so there is no difference of student perception, male and female, for each indicators. And then we acknowledge for some parties. The others are indebted to Ms. Wulan Resti Octaviani, the teacher, for collecting the data during this research. We also grateful to Pusat Layanan Pembiayaan Pendidikan, Puslabdik, Kementerian Pendidikan Kebudayaan Riset dan Teknologi, and Lembaga Pengelola Dana Pendidikan LPDP who have provided the financial assistance through the scholarship, Beasiswa Pendidikan Indonesia in funding this research. And then thank you very much for your great attention. I think that's all my presentation today. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Miss Sulistiawati, for your insightful presentation. Okay, now I'd like to invite other presenters to ask questions to Miss Sulistiawati. Yeah, I see Miss Sulistiawati is on board, I think.
Yes, on the travel.
on the travel, okay.
Yes, go to the bandara, to the airport.
Okay. Okay, any questions?
Maybe
From
it
other
has no
presenters?
question.
No questions? Okay, I'll count in to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, no questions. Thank you,
Yeah, thank you very much.
Listiawati, for your
Yeah,
presentation.
you're welcome.
Okay, have a safe travel.
Thank you.
Listiawati. Okay, now let's move to the third presenter. The third presenter is Miss Flavia Aurelia Hidayat. Miss Flavia will present her research paper. The title of the research paper is Improving Students' Mathematical Academic Achievement through Self-Regulated Learning and Creative Learning. Okay, first let's watch the pre-recorded video.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity given to me. I'm Pravia. I'm lecturer in State University of Jakarta. Now I will present about improving students' mathematical academic achievement through self-regulated learning and creativity. The introduction. Creativity is a thinking skill that has the highest level compared to other thinking skills. Creativity leads to the discovery of new and original ideas. Creativity is correlated with student academic achievement. The positive correlation between mathematical creativity and academic achievement was studied by Yang Hopnami, 2014, Paramas Malikian, 2012, Anna Rose February, 2021, Xiao Jingweng, 2022. However, Beatrice Adriana Bergiu, 2014, said that there is no correlate between creativity and academic achievement. Creativity also requires other supporting factors to improve student academic achievement. One of the stronger supporting factor for student achievement is self-regulated learning skills. Self-regulated learning skills with other skills have a positive effect on student mathematics learning achievement. Previous research only tests the student mathematical academic achievement through self-regulated learning and creativity partially. So, the study examines improving student mathematical academic achievement through self-regulated learning skill and creativity simultaneously. The method. This quantitative research uses a quasi-experimental approach. The design of the study is one group post-test only design because this study only uses a post-test to identify student academic achievement, and the study does not use a pretest. The ICANV score for the creativity questionnaire was 0.63, greater 0.3, and the icon fee score for creativity questionnaire was 0.76 greater 0.3. This is because the creativity questionnaire and the self-required learning skills questionnaire are valid for this study. In the Kolmogorov-Smirnov table, probability or significant to tail is 0.47 greater 0.5. Therefore, the residual data is stated to be normally distributed. Result and discussion. This study has two results. First, identify the effect of mathematical self-regulated learning skill and creativity on student academic achievement. The result interpret that mathematical self-regulated skill and creativity have a simultaneous effect on student academic achievement. And second, the magnitude of the effect of mathematical self-regulated learning skills and creativity on student academic achievement. They show that the simultaneous effect of mathematical self-regulated learning skills and creativity on student academic achievement is 82.3%, while other factors that influence student achievement are 17.7%. 17.7% is a contribution from other factors that are not included in this research. The conclusion, the result of this study informed the mathematical self-regulated learning skills and creativity have a simultaneous effect on student academic achievement. Mostly 82.3%. Mathematical self-regulation skills and creativity simultaneously affect student achievement. However, the finding of this research, it indicate that 70.7% identified other factor that influence students' academic achievement other than mathematical self-regulated learning skills and creativity that were not included in this research. Subsequent research can identify 70.7% of supporting factor other than mathematical self-regulated learning skills and creativity that can affect student academic achievement. Okay, thank you very much.
You are welcome. Thank you, Ms. Fafia Aurelia Hidayat, for your insightful and effective presentation. It's actually less than 10 minutes. Okay, I'd like to invite other presenters to ask questions to Ms. Fafia Aurelia Hidayat. Any questions? Or Ms. Flavia, is there anything that you want to add in your presentation? Is it enough?
Yes.
Okay.
Enough.
Okay. No questions? Okay, I will count until 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, no questions to Ms. Flavia Aurelia Hidayat. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Flavia Aurelia Hidayat, for your presentation. Okay, next, let's move
Okay,
to
you're
the last.
welcome.
Let's next to the last presenter. The last presenter is Mr. Rikza. Mr. Rikza. Okay, Mr. Rikza, sorry. Mr. Rikza will present his research paper. The research paper is students' responses in using video tutorials to test students' spatial ability. Okay, this is our last presenter. I hope that other presenter will ask questions to Mr. Rikza. Okay, let's watch the pre-recorded video from Mr. Rikza first.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Riza. I am student in Universitas Syahkuala Banda Aceh, Indonesia. Here I will explain some things related to the expansion of my research in title Student Respond in Using Video Tutorial to Test Student Spatial Ability. In this opportunity, I will explain about introduction, method, results, and discussion and conclusion. Introduction. The Special Ability Test is one part of a series of college entrance tests. The special ability has a positive relationship with academic success. And the special ability aims to equip students with the skills to continue their education in the future. With there is for a college interest test, applying for a job or a scholarship desk. In reality, special ability is important to be possessed by student, but in fact, the special ability of student and college student is the relative low. And this is caused by geometry learning does not provide sufficient opportunities for students to develop their special abilities. And this result in student tending to memorize formula without understanding geometry. And spatial ability test development. There are several experts who have developed the spatial ability test, and including Kosevnikov and Hegarty, Ramphul and Lowry, and Ekstrom and Mayer. As of the expert has their own opinion of the result of its development. Uh, Kosevnikov and Hegarty developed a test of spatial orientation, developed the mental orientation test, and Raffle, Lowry, and Nesler developed a test spatial visualization skill in the form of paper folding. And Meyer developed test of spatial perception, spatial visualization, mental orientation, spatial relation, and spatial orientation. And the special ability and written test. In this case, the special ability test has been developed long ago. And to test this ability, it is done through a written test. The test system take long both for the exam and for correction. However, the test system takes long both for the exam and for checking as well. Therefore, it is necessary to design on a computer-based or learning testing system. A computer-based or online testing system. Computer-based testing quickly spread to all aspects of assessment. There are significant advantages of using online tests, namely to assess student achievement, visible more flexibility in the design of the system, easy access to item source, reduced scope for cheating, and faster scoring. And paper-based tutorial, video tutorial, and special ability test online. Special ability is difficult to develop if it only relies on learning through books. On way to develop the student special ability is to train them to solve special ability problems online. Uh, Paper-based tutorial, video tutorial, and paper-based tutorial have been tested by Leon and Robertson that video tutorial are more successful than paper-based version. Video tutorial student get with video tutorial independent to complete assessment. assignment as well as motivate student and provide satisfaction to student. And method one, the method used in this study is a descriptive research method, which is to describe the use of video tutorial as an example of completing a special ability test. And then this research was conducted in a school in Banda Aceh. The subject in this study were 19 students of class 11. Mm, the data collected in this study were student score in completing special orientation and the result of interview about student understanding of video tutorial and the process of completing special orientation. And then from 19 students, 4 students were taken to see the response to the video tutorial. 2 students are taken based on the high score. 2 students are taken based on the low score. And next, the data collection in this study by providing video tutorial and doing special ability test. And then furthermore, after the research process in complete and the data collect, the research analyze the data using quantitative descriptive analysis. The student score obtained were analyzed based on percentage with the following formula. The percentage result are then category based on the criteria present in table 1. Result and discussion. The score of the video tutorial special ability test according to individual traits given by the research to the subject is present in table 2 below. From the table it is known that there are only 3 or 90 students who can answer the question of spatial ability. And then the result of interview from for select respondent from the table, the student who got the high score that they understood the step or information content in the video tutorial, so that they were able to answer the special ability test, where the other two students did not understand the content in the video tutorial. It can be stated that students who have low score are due to a lack of understanding of the information contained in the video tutorial. So it needs to be followed up by revising the tutorial video to make it easier for student to understand. Conclusion, based on the result of interview with student, it can be concluded that it one student who are unable to answer the special ability test because they do not understand the explanation of the video tutorial that is on. And then student know what message or information they conveyed in the video, but student still cannot understand the video. And then 3 of the 19 students who were able to answer the special test were able to explain the result of the previously answered test. So it can be said that students who have been test for special ability test with video tutorial are declared unsuccessful and need to be follow up by revising the tutorial video to make them easier to understand by student. It is necessary to conduct further research related or to review of video tutorial for special ability test so that student can more easily understand the information present in the video. That's all my presentation. I apologize for my mistake. Finally, I say wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Mr. Rizal, for giving such an informative presentation. Okay, now we are in Q&A session. I'd like to invite other presenters to ask questions to Mr. Riza. The title of paper of Mr. Rizka is Student Responses in Using Video Tutorials to Test Students' Special Ability. Okay. Or Mr. Riza, do you want to add something beyond your presentation?
Banyak yang datang.
Okay, no questions or statement from Mr. Riza. Okay. I think it's enough. Thank you, Mr. Riza, for your presentations and your time. Okay, dear participants, we have completed all presentation from all presenters. Actually, we have 11 presenters, but in our data, there are only 4 pre-recorded video that we have received. Okay, before we close our parallel session in this room, let's watch the closing video prepared by the committee. Okay, please.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have reached an end of this Earth Science and Mathematics International Conference 2022. Coming to the sad part of my job to provide the closing remarks, since we have shall be closing the door on lively and stimulating discussion. However, it is also a privilege and an honor to be entrusted with such an undertaking at a gathering of such eminent people from different parts of the world, academia, researchers, industry, and all contributed parties. As with previous week conference, this year event has been outstanding. Our mind have been assailed by a torrent of ideas, information, statistic, interpretation, and vision. And it will probably be a day or two before we can sift through them all to consolidate our own personal perspective. There is indeed plenty to reflect upon, and if this in any way enhances our individual and collective contribution to meet the post-pandemic challenges, then the conference can truly be adjudged a success. Finally, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of you all, I should like to thank the Rector, Vice Rector, Dean, and Vice Dean of Mathematics and Natural Science Faculty, Universitas Negeri Jakarta. Thanks also addressed to our speakers, Scientific Committee, our co-host, University Technology Malaysia, all scientific organizations collaborate with us, sponsor, and Ministry of Education, Culture, Research, and Technology. Their presence has been invaluable and without any doubt has helped make the event a great success. We greatly appreciate the support we have received from the members of the media in covering our activities. It is very important that the views expressed here are disseminated to a wider readership and audience. And clearly, this task has been in very capable hands. We are also grateful to all those who have been involved in the organization of the event, the organizing and technical committees. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Science and Mathematics International Conference is a biannual event We look forward to seeing you again in 2024 when we solve, reconference, and discuss another topical theme affecting research and education of science and mathematics. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
dulu bisa digunakan. Kemudian untuk makan siang sudah disiapkan juga di area registrasi bagi Bapak Ibu yang sudah selesai mengisi survei boleh mengambil makan siang. And we're looking forward to see you on another class. So thank you very much, Dr. Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me to join this session. Oh, we have something short. On behalf of the professors, I would like to ask all of the participants to fill out the questionnaire that was prepared by the organizer by scanning the barcode or the organizer. Send the link in the chat or share the QR code so and share it. See you on Speak Ready.
Okay. It's a very nice video, but we are sorry for the quality of the audio. Okay, dear participants, I'd like to thank again to our presenters for very interesting and stimulating contribution and a valuable discussion. Nice to see you all. Hopefully we can meet in the next occasion. There are some information that we are going to share to you related to the certificate. Okay. Certificate will be able to generate it through registration system on September 9th, 2022. You may log into your conference system and you may get your certificate. And there will be the best presenters, and the information of the best presenters will be able in the website on the same date, September 9th, 2022. And after you present your research report, don't forget to upload your full paper to registration system for publication process. And the publication payment only paid when paper has been accepted. Okay. Okay, before we close this session, allow me to take a photo of the entire participants in this room. Therefore, please kindly turn on your video camera. Okay, Miss Sulistiawati. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's take the photo. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Once again. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, dear participant, we have finally come to the end part of this parallel session. Once again, thank you for your participation in Science and Mathematics International Conference 2022, and see you on SMIC 2000 and 2004. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Satya.
Thank you.